Greetings. This is a quick overview of the application WoW Auction Helper, which basically is a web application that you can install on your computer from the web page, basically, if you're in Chrome on Windows. And you can also use it in the browser as a regular web page. It will download everything on your computer and just download whatever data it needs in the future after you've used it once. It will also work on Android devices, it should do at least, and I would not recommend using it on an iOS device because it will probably run out of memory. Yeah. So anyways, so the first page you will see after you have set up the application will be the dashboard. So the dashboard contains predefined and customized dashboards, basically. So you have the predefined ones are the first three here. So, and the known watch list crafts. These items are based on the custom dashboards. It will display an aggregate of all of the known potentially profitable items you can craft that are contained within any of your watch lists. And you also have the bid ones, the potential bid deals, and the potential bid deals with less than 30 minutes less than 30 minutes left. So, and the potential deals is something you have as well, and items sorted by availability, buyouts below the vendor price, and then the trade vendor currency in gold ones. So one that I would kind of find useful if I start a new realm would be the buyouts below a vendor price, with a vendor sell price one at least, as it's kind of easy gold usually. If you click on the button for maximizing the window, you will get this kind of pop-up thingy, and in some cases it will contain a TSM shopping string. So that is for anything that is that is based on a buyout, not the quantity, if I remember correctly. And it also has to be like below a certain value. So if it's below blah blah blah, then it will appear in this shopping list. That might be a subject to change in the future for improvements. And then I mentioned the custom ones. Before I go to the custom ones, I will go to the sellers section. Here you will see a overview of the sellers on your realm. So you will see them by default sorted by liquidity, volume, and auctions, and then you will have them grouped by the sellers who have a certain item class on the auction house, and by how many of that item type they have in the auction house. So you can see by clicking on the person, you can see like all of their auctions. That one was boring. Let's take that guy. You can see here that you have like an overview of all of the different types. You can see that this person has diversified a lot. You can change the chart type if you wish. And you can also see that this person has a character that is below level 10. If the person has a character above level 10, you will get the profession information and a picture of the character. You can also see the auctions, just in general, for that person. It's not grouped by item, but by the auction, as I personally find that more useful. You can disagree with me on that, but I find that more useful. So let's go to the Manage Custom Dashboard one. Here you can customize all the dashboards. I've set up some dashboard groups for Battle for Azeroth, which I'm not really done with them for now. I'm kind of, first of all, interested to see what items go for in the beginning, so I just set them to 1 as they appear. Yeah. So I can also, before I go to the part where I can add a group, make a group, I will just display one functionality. So you can click the checkbox here. Then you can select multiple items, obviously, and either edit them or delete them. So let's say that so many items to select. There we go. That's it for now. Edit batch. And I would like to know if there are more than 0 items appearing in the auction house, basically. So, yeah. What you can do here is also base it. Let's say that you want to know if there's at least a 10% profit on an item, then you can just select the crafting cost and say that it has to be above a certain percent. Let's say 110 return on investment, basically. So 110 would then indicate that there's a 10% profit. So just keep that in mind if you want to do that. It can be handy. So yeah, in this case I want above 0. Save. And there we go. So now I will have an alert as soon as that item appears in the auction house. Let's go to the manage group section. Add a test group, which will appear in the first index. And let's add some items. Let's say that we would like to create a group for, yeah, no, crafts that are unused items. So then you basically select none in the profession section. You can also select all, and then it will not filter only profession items. Just so you know that. Let's say Legion and none. You can say that we are interested in the crafting cost and we want it to be a 110% one. This one will be the use the previous value from the last time you did the batch update, batch add. So this seems fine to me. So I will batch add the items. You can see here, which you might have noticed previously, is that you get a tsem string. This can be used for importing items into a group that you have in Trade Skill Master, or the add-on, basically. See here that most of these are profitable, but then again, there are none found on the auction house for this item, so you want to do that one. Yeah. So when you see the ones that are highlighted with green, that would imply that it has met your criteria or rule. When you have set it to the crafting cost, if there isn't, let's go to enchanting, where there is multiple versions of that same, multiple recipes that create the item, then it will select the rank 3 one usually. If there is like rank 1, rank 2, rank 3. But that would only apply if you have not registered a character that knows the recipe. If you know the recipe and know the characters, it will select that one. So you will get the information based on what you can create in that sense. Yeah. So that, I believe that's kind of it for these. You can, as mentioned previously, you can select multiple manually like this. You can select all and deselect one maybe, or a couple. You can do batch delete, like delete everything you have selected and the other selections. You also have these values here: minimum regional sale rate, minimum daily sold. this has to be edited in the Manage Groups section, and it would then reduce or filter out items that don't have at least sale rate of, let's say, let's take a current one. Let's take glyphs. So let's say that the glyphs have to have a sale rate of 10%, and they have to sell for at least one item per day, regionally-ish. And when we go to the item section now, it will be reflected. So you can see that only this item meets my criteria, and yeah, is profitable, which is part of my criteria. Then let's go to crafting section. So you can basically filter this as you please. Intermediate crafting this can be handy to save some gold while you craft and see get like an idea of which items you should craft to make another craft more less expensive, more profitable. You can filter to only show known recipes for this realm, or if there's a connected realm, it will be for the realm you play on and the connected realm. So if you have on both, it should work seamlessly. So we can see, okay, I don't I don't know any pets, but let's say consumables. I can filter like that. I can say I want from a specific expansion. Of course, I don't know anything from BFA yet, so yeah. See here. If there's an item that is sold from a vendor, it will by default choose that if it's cheaper than buying it from the auction house. If the auction house is cheaper, then it will use that one. So if it's the vendor price, it will have a V like that. So here, the light parchment is sold for 9 copper currently on my auction house. If you want more information about an item, well, let's do that later. Yeah, so you can search like that. You can say, I can't. There we go. Minimum profit of 10%. So here it's 10%, not 110, as it's not ROI. And a sales rate of 10, just to keep it simple. And yeah, you can sort the tables as you please based on the clicks here. I mean, based on the columns. You can just click on them and it will sort as you wish. Let's go to the auction check. Oh, and you can also filter based on these. Minimum average data sold is also something you can define. Let's go to the auctions. So here you can basically just search through all the auctions. Let's go for Dream Leaf. You can also, as previously, you can do all of that. You can also say that I only want to see items below the vendor price, like vendor sell price. And if we go to Dreamleaf, I can see which items it's contained in, if it's contained in one or more. If it's sold by a vendor, this one is bugged, so yeah. The zone you can find it in. Currently I don't have the names of all of the zones where it's dropped. So these items, some of this data is based on Wowhead, and some is just generated within the application. See which items is a material for, so you can get an idea of why someone would want to buy this item, or maybe what you can make with the item. You also have an overview of all the sellers. You can see which sellers have the most of this item on the auction house. This can be handy, I think, if you think someone's acting kind of strange, or yeah, you can see. Yeah, use your imagination. And you can also see all the auctions. You can see, you can sort them like this. Check if there's any super cheap bids here. Like you can see that this guy had posted it 1 for 2 copper per, per item, which kind of is madness. And you can also see your own auctions. Currently, I do not have any auctions up. If you have any auctions and you undercut, you can see that here. You can also see it as like a percent indication in the navigation. So it will tell you that 82% of your auctions has been undercut, and yeah. You can see the watch list basically is the dashboard management of the custom ones. I can see the trade vendors. And if there aren't trade vendors for the Expulsum, they will be added here as well when the expansion releases, and we get the information. You can see the sellers. You can search through them if you wish. And there is a tool for the market resetting. Like a batch, so you can search for many items or the whole auction house and get an idea of which items you might want to reset the market of. You can also do this individually by going into an item. By the way, you click the names to do that. And go to the reset cost calc. And the default value will be set to the market value if you have the TSM API key added to the application. And you can see in this case it would cost me 8k-ish. I would pay 9.8 gold per item, and I could get a return on investment of 144%, which is okay. And the application guesses at you being able to sell it for within 1.2 days actually. And if you want to buy out all of the items, you just copy this string, paste it into TSM search in shopping, and voila. And if you want to check out the Undermine Journal or Wowhead or whatever, WowDB I mean, you just click on either of these buttons and you will get there. Well, yeah, it will take you there. So yeah, so you can basically filter here. I should get like a profit of 301% if I go for sumptuous fur. But it would be an idea to check out the like daily sold, to get an idea of how fast you might resell all of the items. In this case, I would just have to buy 242 items. Yeah, so you can just play around with this as you please. I'm not really done with the market resetting tool for like multiple items at once yet. I haven't really had time for that, but you can still use it. It should work fine. And as you can see here, it's currently downloading or updating the auction data for my application. So it will, every 5 seconds or so, just check if there's any updates to the auction data. If there is, it will download. All of the item, recipes, pets, auctions, and TSM data is stored on your computer. This is so that we save the bandwidth on your network and on my server, basically. So since there's not really a point in downloading the same data over and over again, it's just wasteful. So yeah. If you have anything that you would change in the settings, you just go to the settings. I don't want to go there as I do not want to show you my API key for TSM and web auction. You can go to the about section if you want to see like any information about where the data is from, what's done with the privacy stuff, technology, what the applications is created on or with. You can see whomever has contributed to the project. If you have any bugs that you want to fix yourself, that you find in an application, feel free to do so. You would be very welcome to do so if you want to. If you want to see what the to-do list is currently, you can go there to the to-do section, and you will see anything here. You can also see the progress if there are tasks on that specific one. And you can also see the change log if you wish to. You can also click this one right here, and it will also take you to the change log. If you, and also by the way, if you don't like the light theme, you can also use dark theme. So you can change this as you please. Yeah, I believe that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. If you have any bugs, do please feel free to report them. It's very practical if you do it via GitHub or via Discord or Reddit. Let me see. Yeah, and by the way, I use Google Analytics in the application so that I can see which parts of the application is being used. So I know what to focus on, and I can also see if anyone is using the application when I deploy an update, so I can avoid ruining the experience for people. Yeah, so if you can wonder where you can report bugs, it's mentioned here. So my username on WoW Economy on Discord and on Reddit is Geekon1990. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you found the video useful. If you didn't, that's too bad. If you did, well, then that is wonderful. Yeah. Have a nice day, and thank you for watching.